Hello, Commanders. Automatic Gamer here, and with the 2026-2027 NFL Draft just a couple weeks away, actually, yeah, just a couple weeks away, in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh is going to be the NFL Draft, and today for this video, I wanted to go over all of the NFL Vikings 9 draft picks and go over and see what we would need at which pick and which position would benefit the Minnesota Vikings the most. Because with the 9 total draft picks that we have, let's go through them first, and I'll get to what we would uh, do with all the other picks. Because we got one first round pick, one second round pick, two third round picks, two fifth round picks, and three seventh round picks. So, with those 9 total picks, I do have, a couple ideas of what we could do with, obviously, these 9 draft picks in total. Because, the good news is we're loaded up on draft picks with 9 total overall, which isn't bad. I think that's really, really good, and I think this definitely could be a good draft, especially with Quezito Mensa. Obviously he's not here anymore, and with interim GM Rob Brzezinski, if he is going to be the new general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, that's not determined right now. But if he is, I don't think I would mind. I wouldn't care. I would be open to it if he was. But I think primarily for this draft, for this season, it is going to be primarily run by Kevin O'Connell, head coach, and defensive coordinator Brian Flores. And yeah, those two will definitely be heavily involved. But I do think also Rob Brzezinski will as the interim or maybe the future GM. But again, I'm not certain on that. But yeah, let's get into the first round of the NFL draft. And for me, I would say the first need position would have to be the safety, in my opinion. But yeah, safety. Obviously defense. It was. I thought my number one thought was either a safety or a cornerback. In my opinion, I was going back and forth in my head, and while I was doing research, so many times did I want a safety or a cornerback. But yeah, we could take either of those in the first round. But yeah, yeah, I would take a safety in the first round. Not only would that obviously go great in the Brian Flores system in our defense, but also, I know we all love the veteran, the hitman, Harrison Smith. He's absolutely awesome. He obviously played last season, 36 years old, and I still think he's got still a good amount left in the tank if he does end up playing another year for this Minnesota Vikings team and this defense. Because I think Flores would be open to anything like that. I think Harrison Smith would love to play for another year if he got the chance. I think he would take it. But yeah, when he does end up indeed hanging up that 22 jersey, I do think a suitable replace. We have to, obviously, we do need to replace safety position. Regardless of if he does come back or if he does end up indeed fully retiring or not, we do still need to address the safety position. And I do think that the perfect replacement for him, especially with everyone else saying this, would be the safety out of Oregon, Dylan Thieneman. And he is pretty good, a really good safety. His stats for overall pressure, his QB hits, obviously, I think they're really, really good. And he would just be, I think, a really good fit in this Brian Flores whole scheme for a safety to realign that, especially with if indeed Harrison Smith is gone, because I think he would be a really good replacement. But I mean, you still can't replace Harrison Smith in my opinion, even if you brought in Dylan Thieneman. But I mean, yeah, I do think that would be a really good move because I've seen every single mock draft on ESPN saying the Minnesota Vikings are going to be taking the safety in the first round, Dylan Thieneman, and every Vikings insider has said it. Diana Rossini, Adam Schefter, and yeah, just everyone has said it's going to be Dylan Thieneman, and yeah, every single other insider and YouTuber has said it is Dylan Thieneman. And personally, if we do get a safety in the first round, that wouldn't surprise me, even if it is Dylan Thieneman or yeah, someone like that in that status. But yeah, and for the second round, I would say the next, probably the most needed position is the cornerback. I mean, and I know we got Byron Murphy Jr. We got Byron Murphy Jr. We got Isaiah Rodgers, and we got James Pierre from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know Byron Murphy Jr. He didn't light things up, but yeah, I mean, he was impressive. Isaiah Rodgers, Bengals game, he shined. And then, I mean, he didn't really do like anything crazy there, but their abilities to generate pressures, and especially with us still picking up um, the Pittsburgh Steelers corner, James Pierre, which I think was absolutely awesome. But I still do think there is still a need for one more corner in this cornerback room, and I think that would have to be Javon McCoy out of Tennessee for a cornerback. I mean, yeah, and him. I mean, both. I mean, for yeah, corner and safety. I think those are the two needs for positioning the absolute most, especially with you got to lean into your strength on this draft, and the strength of obviously the Vikings is our defense, and so lean into that strength more. I mean, I know I'm gonna probably talk about the offense a little bit later on, but first, let's get into the strength of the team, and that's obviously the defense. So draft a safety, Dylan Thieneman, and then draft Javon McCoy in the second round, cornerback out of Tennessee. And both those guys, I've seen their stats, even though I don't really watch college football that much. I mean, I've seen their stats, and they are really, really good and impressive. So, I mean, yeah, that's really good. And I would say I would be open to those two as the first two picks in the first and the second round. Now, we have two third-round picks. And for me, for a two third-round picks, I would say still lean into the Flores system. Still lean into your defense, your strong suit of your team. And I would say, I mean, yeah, there's still going to be woes on this defense. I mean, I know it's a top tier defense still, but it still can be better. And I mean, I would say maybe for those moves would be maybe two edge rushers in the two third round picks. We can get two edge rushers out of it. And I mean, yeah, I love Dallas Turner. I love Javon Hargrave. I mean, those guys are just absolutely awesome. And I mean, yeah, those guys like Javon Hargrave, Dallas Turner, Andrew Van Ginkel, Eric Wilson, we all love those guys. And well, yeah, they're just incredible. But I mean, yeah, the thing we always worry about is age and when do we ever need new players on this defense, and should we never have to worry about that? And that's why maybe for this I would take maybe two edge rushers with those two third round picks if they're available. Other than that, I mean, I'll get into my other ideas in the next round, but yeah, I would maybe take two edge rushers, which I mean honestly would be really, really good to have. And then I mean, other than that, for maybe a defense, going on to the 2 5th-round picks that we also have, I would say uh, maybe still leaning into the defense, but also, I mean, I do want to talk about the offense a little bit, and I do want to talk about the center position a little bit because I know, I mean, obviously we got Blake Brandel at starting center, and I mean, he's a really good center for the time that he played. He did have some really good and impressive stats. I mean, and I know we don't have Ryan Kelly anymore because obviously he retired, and that saved the Vikings obviously a lot of money. So that was sort of a good but also bad thing that he retired. Sort of a good thing, but also I'm not certain. But I mean, I know Blake Brandel can be a good stopgap and starting center for the team. So, but does that mean we don't need a center? I mean, I'm not certain, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do draft a center coming into the next season because we need someone who's going to be good at the center, who's going to be a good blocker for our offense and for our quarterback, if that's indeed going to be JJ McCarthy getting the starting job, or if that's going to be Kyler Murray. I really do still think that JJ McCarthy can develop this NFL season. And I mean, yeah, for a center, yeah, I think that's still a huge position of need, and well, but another position we need that we can maybe take in the 5th round for our second 5th round pick, or maybe in the 7th round, would be a wide receiver. And I mean, me like a few other Vikings fans and insiders are saying like it wouldn't be surprising if the Vikings at all draft a wide receiver coming into the NFL draft. I mean, and yeah, I think it wouldn't surprise me because I mean, you got the best wide receiver in the NFL, Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison. I mean, he can be a good wide receiver. The only thing that worries me about Jordan Addison is obviously the off-field issues when he got arrested and he missed a couple of those walkthroughs and all that. Other than that, he's good. I'm just worried about his off-field issues. And I mean, Ty Felton. I mean, yeah, he's really good. He's a good wide receiver that can definitely, I think, step up to the wide receiver position, the wide receiver 3. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me still if we drafted a wide receiver that we would want to bring into either the wide receiver 3 position or just another backup to have going on to the next year-end season. And and now on to the 3 7th-round picks that we have. I would say maybe I would go with some more maybe O-line offensive protection, or I would go with some more defensive ends or defensive tackles on that side. But I mean, I'm not certain, but I still want to lean into the strength of this team being the defense. So maybe with most of these picks, I would obviously lean into defense. But I mean, it still wouldn't surprise me if we went some offensive players like a center, a wide receiver, or a some offensive protection and other players for this team, like maybe perhaps another guys for the O-line or some more positions for, I think, guard, even though we got plenty of guys for our right guard and left guard. So we don't really need much or anything there. So, but I mean, yeah, I just wanted to crank out these ideas before the NFL draft started. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any differing opinions. Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys want to talk about anything about football or the Vikings, let me know in the comments and join my Discord. The link will be in the description, and I will see you on the football field, Commanders.